Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new here for the first time, welcome. My name is Angela and I find my paradise through reading. And today I am going to talk about the worst books I read in 2024. I actually think this is my first worst books video. I don't think I've ever done a worst books video. And I mean, all things considered, I think overall, and just over years of reading, the vast majority of the books that I read are a good time. You know, I usually have a good time with the books I select, and yeah, you know, and people recommend a lot of bangers. Each year I'm finding new favorite authors, and so it's just usually pretty decent. But I was thinking about it like when I was going through my all of the books that I read in 2024. When I was making that video, I was, there were some books that I was just like, oh, and I remember talking about them in my previous videos. And I was like, yeah, there were a couple that I was really disappointed in. So I thought let's do a video about that. So, and it's not that many. So all things considered, of all the books that I read, I only pulled out 5 books that I did not really like. They weren't my thing. I didn't care for them. I'll probably hurt some people's feelings maybe with this video, because I know a couple of these books are some favorites, and it is what it is. Okay. So let me start off with the only book that I DNF'd in 2024 was Wicked by Gregory Maguire. I actually DNF'd it, guys. I tried. Oh my God, I tried. So the movie musical came out in theaters. I saw it twice, loved it. I mean, I'm like crying so much. I was just wiping the tears off my neck, because I mean, I was a mess, and I just laughed so much. And the choreography, the music, the scenery, everything was just so vibrant and so beautiful. It was fun. I had a great time with it. Okay, so I did have this on my bookshelves, and I've had it for maybe a year or two. I think about a year or two. I haven't had it for too long. And so I said, okay, I saw the musical, and now I'm gonna read the book. Wow. No, it is, no. There's so much perversion, I think, in this book. Yeah, there's, like adultery and kind of fornication. Yeah, it's not a new thing, but I think in this setting, it's just really weird. And then I didn't even get so far into it, but I heard like further into the book, there's like bestiality in there. I kind of had enough of with some really, really strange things in here. I didn't like any of the characters. It was very slow paced. It was just, I just didn't care about anything. And none of the characters were great. I didn't like any of them. They were all like miserable characters. I don't know. So I couldn't, no, I didn't like it. I wanted to like keep going. I kind of read another couple pages, and I was just like, I can't, like, no. So let me make sure. But yeah, that is the only book that I DNF'd in 2024. And that was a surprise to me, because I was so excited about Wicked. I thought I was gonna like be thrown into this just magical world of color and adventure, and it just wasn't at all. And Nope. So that was a big no for me. So, and I know some people love this book. They're fans of the series. And that's fine. It's just not my thing. Okay, the next one is, it was another surprise because I was so excited when I found this book at the annual library fundraising book sale. And I was like, what a cool freaking find. And I held on to it until October because I wanted to read it at the perfect time. And that is A Vampire Christmas Carol, Ebenezer Scrooge, Vampire Slayer by Sarah Gray. Okay, this was such a huge disappointment. I thought the cover was really neat. Very vampiric with the lettering, with the font up here, and then the door knocker, which in the other book is Jacob T. Marley's face on this door knocker, but it's like a vampire-y, gothic kind of face. And I was like, this sounds like so fun. And then when I read the synopsis on the back, I was like, this sounds amazing, right? How disappointed I was. And I was disappointed because the majority of what this says is not even true. Like, it didn't even happen in the book. Like, I remember, like, Scrooge's, like, ex-fiance was like she's a toiling fearlessly as a seamstress by day and vampire hunter by night. She was not a seamstress in the book. She had opened an inn to welcome like weary travelers, and that was kind of a cover to help vampire slayers that were on the run. So it was kind of like a she had like this, like kind of like a bed and breakfast. But she would like, you know, also be helping these vampire slayers that were injured or in hiding or whatever. So no, she wasn't a seamstress. Vampire hunter by night. Not at one point in this book was she out hunting vampires. So that wasn't a thing. Fred and his clerk, Bob Cratchit, who risked their lives as Belle's loyal soldiers. No, that didn't happen either. And Belle's loyal soldiers, like, they made it seem like she was like leading some kind of like vampire killing army. No. He learns of the plot mounting to attack all of them. There was no plot to attack all of them, starting with the innocent sacrifice of Bob's son, Tiny Tim. There was no sacrifice or no plan to sacrifice Bob's son, Tiny Tim. Yeah, so I mean, this book was way off. It was okay. And I think if they would have summarized it a little bit or described it more truthfully on the back, I wouldn't have been so hardly disappointed. But this, whoever wrote this feels like it was written by someone who didn't even read the book. I'm not even sure how, like, this passed production. But that's why I'm disappointed. The story itself, it wasn't too bad. But my expectations were very, very different because of what the back said. So that's that. The other one, oh, I know this is a big one for a lot of people. Oh, brace yourselves, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Here it is. Oh my gosh. I'm scared to hold this up because you guys are going to be like, what? I'm going to do it. Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. Yep. All right. Let's just, yeah, put all the hate in the comments, I guess. I'm ready. Nope. Howl's Moving Castle. No, I did not like this story. And I'd have to say maybe one of the main reasons I didn't like this story was because the main protagonist, Sophie, you guys know I don't like invasive personalities. And she basically like barges into Howl's castle and just is making demands, is being just very like pushy and nosy, and just she's all over the place. And it was just a frustrating feeling for me. And I just wanted Howl to like yank this lady and throw her out of the castle and like put a curse on her or something. So that was kind of it. Like, I just didn't really see much of the point of this book. It just kind of kept going on for like no reason. I don't know. I didn't get it. Tell me what I didn't get, because I know this is super popular with a lot of people. And I wanted to love it because I just keep hearing about it. Kelsifer and what was it? The Wizard Howl, and I don't know. I'm glad I read the book, because now whenever Howl's Moving Castle is mentioned in other books or just like in passing, I know what they're talking about. But other than that, no, I don't understand like why people like it so much. And I've even considered watching is it like an anime, the Howl's Moving Castle, or what's it called? Studio Ghibli? Do they do that? I don't know, but maybe I'll watch it and feel differently. But the book, I thought it was like really long. I mean, it wasn't a short book. It was really long, and I just didn't feel like not much was happening. So, sorry about that. And another one, which I've heard, a lot of people like, and just nope. A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair. Now, I love mythology and gods and goddesses, and I love that stuff. I do. And I had really high hopes for this. And this is basically Persephone. She's goddess of spring. And this is kind of modern day. And like gods and normal people kind of hang out on Earth like regular people. And she wants to go to college and be a journalist, and she's supposed to be the goddess of spring, but she can't make anything grow. And just if she touches a plant, it dies. So Hades has like the best exclusive nightclub in the area. There's just lines of people. You have to be on the list. And so, yeah, she comes across Hades, and she does hear that he makes deals with like people's souls, and then if he wins this deal or this bet, then he keeps their soul. So she thinks like this guy is nuts. He needs to be, put out there, and I want to like find out what's really going on and put it in the papers. And so yeah, she goes to this night. She actually meets Hades, and then accidentally makes a deal with him. And so it could be her spending eternity in the underworld. Basically, she has to make something grow in the underworld. She has to bring life to the underworld. And so it's the underworld. There's no life and nothing grows. And then on top of that, she just doesn't have that ability. So yeah, then they fall in love or whatever. I don't know what the heck happened, but I did talk about this book recently in one of my videos. I hated her. I did not like her character. Again, she was very invasive, very nosy, very pushy, and kind of like went into the underworld without his permission, and then she ends up getting hurt, you know, like it, I wanted to like strangle her. And their relationship was just not believable. It was lacking so much because I couldn't see why Hades would want anything. Like, there was nothing with her. Like, I just didn't see the chemistry. It's like he fell in love with her for absolutely no reason. She was awful. She was whiny. She was pushy. She was just not a great person. I don't know. I didn't care for her at all. So yeah, so if you're hoping there's gonna be like a cute little love story, it's not. And then like their spicy scenes were way too spicy, considering that supposedly she was like this virgin, but she went from like virgin to hoe in like half a second, and you're like, wait, what the heck is going on here? I didn't care for it. I just and I had high hopes for this because, again, I love gods, goddesses. I love the idea of Hades having this nightclub, and you know, gods and goddesses going to clubs together and going to college, and you know, but nope, was not my thing. So there's that. And I have one more. So not bad, only 5 books that I felt were just not enjoyable for me this year. And that is this one is a classic. It is A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man by James Joyce. This one, oh, I wanted to DNF this with a passion. Oh my God. Every page for me felt like a chore. And I couldn't get into this at all. I think this was like stream of consciousness. I know it's supposed to depict like an Irish Catholic boy's life, kind of like growing up, and but it was just terrible. Like there was no transition, so I didn't know where he was, if he was awake or asleep. So I didn't know if what was going on was a dream, or if he was actually awake, if he was at school, if he was at home, or did they move? It was so confusing, and there was just so many conversations like within the family members and a lot of political things, and I just couldn't get into it at all. Not at all. Like every page, I mean, I just cringed the entire way through this. And the only reason I didn't DNF it is because it's on the list of 100 greatest books ever written that I am working my way through. And it's like my promise to myself, you know, that I will read these books, whether I like them or not. I will not DNF them, but I will get through them. So that's the only reason I finished this one. I wanted to stop it like 5 pages in, to be honest. So that's where we're at. So I think, I mean, honestly, I'm probably gonna unhaul all of these books because I'm never gonna read them again. That's that. Yeah. These guys, they're gonna be unhauled. Okay. So thank you so much for joining me and letting me share the worst books of 2024 with you. And hit me up in the comments if you've read any of these books, if you like any of these books and why, because I'm always open for like people's comments, especially if their opinions differ from mine. Like, what do you like about these books? You know, what am I missing here? But, you know, yeah. And what were your worst books of 2024? I'm always curious. I love watching those videos too of like what the worst books were. And sometimes some of my favorite books are on people's worst books list. And I'm like, no, that was such a favorite. What are you gonna do? All right, well, stay warm wherever you are, because where I am, we're having a winter storm. So I am trying to stay cozy and warm inside. So happy reading to you all, and to all a good night.